Today's topic is dry and really boring until it bites you in the butt as a buyer. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about permits. If you are purchasing a house, you'll want to check if there was a major renovation in particular, if permits were pulled, and also if those permits were closed. So when a major renovation is done or a bathroom is added or square footage is added, and there are certain other circumstances in which local townships may require permits, permits need to be pulled. And when a permit is pulled, the plan of what to do is filed with the township, and those permits are supposed to be closed. That means that at the end of the project, the builder and or seller is supposed to contact the township and have an inspector come out to make sure everything was done to code and is safe. And if that happens, then the permit is closed. And that's what you're looking for as a buyer. Unfortunately, in this process, a lot of corners can be cut, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not. But the first thing that can happen and does happen is that a permit isn't pulled at all. So there are many builders who want to fly under the radar. They don't want to pay for the permit, and they also don't necessarily want to do the job to the specifications of the township because they think that the requirements are ridiculous or over the top. So sometimes they don't apply for the permits at all. The risk to you as a buyer in that scenario is you're not sure if it's actually done correctly and or safely. Sometimes people do apply for permits, but then the work they do is substantially different from the drawings and what they told the township they were going to do. And that can be an issue as well. So that's where it gets really important to make sure that if permits were pulled, they've been closed out. So did the township actually come out and look what was done and determine that it was okay and close the permits out? If things are not done properly, sometimes the township can make somebody tear them out. And if you purchase a house and for some reason maybe apply for a permit to do some other thing down the road, and the township comes out and discovers that something even prior to your ownership was done incorrectly, they can require you to pull it out or remediate it, and you don't want to be responsible for that. Decks in particular are often done without permits, and that's the sort of thing that you don't want to mess around with as far as safety goes. You don't want to be out on your deck and have it fall and have somebody get hurt. So permits are there for a reason. Yes, it's a way for the township to collect money. Okay, but the main reason why they were invented to begin with is to make sure that work is done properly and safely, and that it doesn't infringe on neighbors or that kind of thing, because there are setback requirements, and where we live, impervious surface maximum allowability, because they don't want this area to become an asphalt jungle. So those permits and those rules are there for a reason. So to recap, if you are looking at a property and you know there's been recent and or significant renovation done, first find out if permits were pulled, and then find out if they were closed. Because if you don't, you could be looking at either a safety issue or a situation in which you have to pay to remove or remediate something that somebody did before you if they didn't get the permits taken care of.